Welcome back, guys, to Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutors Gambit, where last episode, Faraday Gavel made a face turn at last as she indicted Excelcius Winner for his crimes, highlighting his decades-long illegal actions while being at the highest rank of prosecution, which led to Rosie Ringer's demise as she was also trying to reveal those crimes. This led Excelcius to tell us everything he knew about Miss Ringer, as we revealed the meaning of the burn mark mentioned in the recording and caused a wig to go up in flames due to our foe's reaction, showing the incriminating mark on the chief of the committee's face as Gavel delivered a guilty verdict. Now we witness the aftermath.
We won. I weirdly wasn't expecting to win this early when we've got more cases, if you know what I mean. This still felt like a plot thread that might lead onwards. There might be a bit more of a fight than this. I was also kind of expecting the case to kind of cut off with just Kay being proved not guilty, but no one found guilty. But we won.
Mr. Edgeworth, I can't thank you enough. You never gave up on me even when I gave up on myself. That was very kind of you.
There's no need to thank me. As a prosecutor? No. As a friend. It was the least I could do.
Mr. Edgeworth, rejoice. I've learned that Chairman Winner has been safely delivered to the detention center. The search for the missing auction hammer continues, however. We are talking about Chairman Winner here, so it's highly likely that it has already been destroyed. In addition, there is one other matter I must inform you of. The chairman made a rather strange statement. According to him, the letters were not part of his plan.
What? How could that be?
He claims that he and Miss Needler found this letter on Miss Ringer's person. And that they then found a second letter on Kay's unconscious body. From their contents, the letters seem to be ones of correspondence. So we leapt to the conclusion that they must have been working with each other.
That's quite the conclusion to jump to.
As he read the letters, that's when he came up with the idea to frame Miss Faraday for Miss Ringer's murder. So he decided to place the victims in a very conspicuous place. Namely, in her left chest pocket.
Sounds to me like he's just trying to make excuses for himself.
Yes, I certainly thought the same. Perhaps it was some sort of last-ditch ploy on his part. But it matters not. He will answer to the goddess now. And under her scrutiny, such strategies cannot hope to succeed. He will not escape justice. And with that, one of the duties with which I have been entrusted with is complete at last.
Judge Gavel, before you go, can you tell us what you know about how Chairman Winner came to murder Miss Ringer? There's more there, isn't there?
Yes, and I suppose you have earned the right to the whole truth. Miss Ringer once had a lover, a press photographer. He was investigating the underground auctions as a freelance journalist. But before he could uncover the truth behind the auctions, he was disappeared. All Miss Ringer was left with were the memories and personal effects of her lover. And so, seeking revenge on Chairman Winner, she made her appearance at the auction. Unfortunately for her, her opponent struck first.
I see. So that's the story behind this case.
While the goddess does not condone acts of wanton vengeance, Miss Ringer's actions have exposed Chairman Winner's crimes at last.
So that was your real goal. You were tasked with exposing Excelcius Winner and the corruption at the heart of the committee.
Does anyone know what happened to Mr. Winner? I'm afraid I haven't been able to get in touch with him. Do you have any idea why? Probably because I wasn't there for him just now when he needed me most. Oh, I really feel bad for him. Well, don't pity him too much. At least he knows the truth now. And no matter how hard it might be, he'll need to learn to accept it. If he can't, he'll never be able to move on with his life. Trust me.
So many people who've been messed up by the justice. So many children who've been completely messed up by the justice system of not just, well, not really necessarily this country, but this city. It's bonkers. My father's influence isn't easily erased, but in time he can hopefully try and change his ways.
You're right. You've got to be. Can I change too, I wonder? Can I move on with my life? Are you okay, Kay? How's that head feeling? I'm fine. Thank you. I'm so sorry, Kay. You were my patient. I had a responsibility to you, and instead I let them accuse you of... Youch! Dang right. We ain't just in the business of fixing bodies, missy. The mind's where it all begins. You're right, Grandma. Speaking of which, how's your memory? It's like, with a little more time, maybe I'll be able to remember some more? Please forgive me, but I'd better be on my way. I am to preside over the trial of Fifi Lagarde in a bit.
The Bronco Knight case, huh? Who's a defense attorney?
It was supposed to be Miss Ringer, but as she is no longer with us, we are still in the process of finding her replacement.
Miss Ringer was scheduled to represent Warden Lagarde.
And of course, until we find Eustace, there was nobody to act for the prosecution either. In any case, I must take my leave. Wait, please! What about Mr. Edgeworth's badge? What's going to happen to it now? With its chairman under arrest, the committee's activities have been suspended for the time being. So to answer your question, it's complicated. It's all up to the goddess now. But...
Don't worry about it, Kay. It's a consequence of my own making.
And I assume you do not mean to change your mind.
Of course not. I chose the path of the truth, and I chose it willingly.
With Chairman Winner out of the picture, justice is in the hands of the righteous once more. If you did wish to follow the path of the prosecutor again, Mr. Edgeworth, I would be more than happy to facilitate such a decision.
Hey, make me chief. It's very kind of you to offer, but I can't accept your help at this time. I can't ask for my badge back when I'm not even sure if I want it anymore.
I see.
No, I don't know. I totally want it at this point. I'd totally be like, I've seen this system. I've seen how corrupt it can be from so many different levels. Can I be the one to step up? Can I be the one to be put in the position to make sure this corruption never happens again? It would be a lofty task, very ego-driven, but still.
It seems we are destined to continue on different paths, then.
Well, I trust you'll keep my badge safe until they converge again.
With all I have. In the meantime, I have here a token of the goddess's mercy. You may return this notebook to its rightful owner.
Kay's promised notebook.
It seems it was due to be sold in the auction, and with the name Kay written on its cover. Chairman Winner made the connection immediately and knew who it belonged to. It was the same name as the one in the letters, after all.
The letters he claimed to know nothing about. I suppose he insisted he didn't prepare them.
Yes. He also had something else to say. Apparently, he thought that Miss Faraday was after a notebook, and that Miss Ringer was after his life, and that their respective goals are what led them to cooperate and infiltrate the auction all together.
Unfortunately for him, he misread the situation completely. It was all just happenstance. If Kay had known a defense attorney who was also a member of the committee, there's no way she wouldn't have told me. That just isn't like her.
Your belief in her is touching. While the notebook did become part of Chairman Winner's cover-up scheme, it is also a treasured possession of Miss Faraday's, which is why I would like for her to have it back, as I am sure would the goddess.
Thank you.
I pray that it helps her to recover her lost memories. Is everything all right?
And Judge Gavelle wanted me to return something important to you.
Ah, isn't that... Always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Never cry in front of strangers. Daddy, I wrote them all down, Daddy. Yeah, I'm gonna keep all my promises and be a real hero when I grow up, just like you. Oh, wait. I forgot to write one down. The most important promise of all. Promise number 5. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. I remembered it just how you said it. And now I'll never forget it. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. That's right. I have to try. God, that looks painful. Why does that look so painful? I'm Kay Faraday. The great thief will do anything to get her hands on the truth. Second Yatagrasu and assistant to Mr. Edgeworth. Kay, is that really you? Can't say I'm not a little bit embarrassed, but... Yeah, I'm back, and I couldn't have done it without you, Mr. Edgeworth. You never stopped helping me, even when I was totally lost and couldn't remember anything. Thank goodness. You certainly seem to be back. Okay, so this is the real you, huh? Welcome back. It's so good to know you better. I can sleep easy now. Now that you found it, don't you dare go losing that memory of yours again, young lady. You hear? Miss Neela, Dr. Hertz, thanks a lot for looking after me. And framing me. And if you really are better, how about you get out of them dang hospital duds? Oh yeah, I washed all your clothes for you. Here. I thought they were with Detective Gumshoe. He handed them over to us after they came back from forensics. And did he happen to mention if forensics found anything of note? I didn't ask. Anyway, never mind that now. Put them on Kay, I want to see. Wait, what about her bandages? Surely it's too soon to remove them. Oh, it's probably fine. She may have taken a big old bump to the head, but she wasn't really hurt otherwise. But then, why all the bandages in the first place? Prevention is better than cure. A stitch in time saves 9. Those are just a few of my mottos. Both of which sound like painfully annoying practices for your patients. Okay, Kay, transformation time. Where are you going to hide her? Yeah, now this is what I'm talking about. Fits like a stolen glove. That smile suits you better too. As it always did. Thanks to you too, Miss Von Karma. I'm so glad you showed up when you did. I simply came when Scruffy asked me to. I'm sure he'll be very happy to see that you're back to your old self too. Speaking of Gummy, where is he? Who knows? Perhaps the well of his devotion ran dry when a certain someone threw away his badge. Detective Gumshoe. Anyway, I have to be going, and I'll be taking those two with me. Yep, you're criminals. Wait, what's going to happen to them? They're criminals. They need to be at least tried. And, I mean, they do have prominent positions in the community that are helpful, but they did do some ridiculously bad stuff. Acting as an accomplice in a murder and forging an autopsy report 18 years ago. Oh, it's a statute of limitations for that, maybe, though. Their crimes can be allowed to go unpunished. But the fact that Excelcius Winner coerced them into cooperating will, of course, be taken into account. Don't you worry us about... Stop doing that! Don't you worry about us, Kay. As long as Grandma and me are together, we'll be alright. Take care, Kay Faraday. Until we meet again. So, Kay, I know you only just got your memory back, but I need to ask you some questions. Sure, ask away. What happened the day you lost your memory? What were you doing? Let's see. Somebody asked me to meet them at Gore Lake. But I didn't know who it was. So there I was, just looking up at the moon when... somebody in a red raincoat started walking toward me. Well, we can make a guess. Situation, scene, stand. They must have drugged me somehow because that's when I fell unconscious. What? I'm not sure I follow. Kay was at Gord Lake looking up at the moon. So it wasn't up here at all. Anyway, when I came to, I was on the roof of this building. I was in a daze and stumbling around up there when... I saw the person in the red raincoat again, but they were lying on the ground. I was so surprised I stumbled backward. And then I was falling, and everything went dark. When I came to the second time, I couldn't remember anything. The person in the red raincoat, who in the world were they? I'm sure they were walking in midair. Thinking about it's making my head hurt.
It's because the places and situations ended up the same. That's so interesting. The scene of the original falling unconscious plus the scene of where you were transported to have stark similarities. Just breathe, Kay. You only just got your memory back. You're still confused. I imagine the root cause of your confusion is... I think it's your memories of two different locations. They match up. I imagine things are all mixed up in your mind because you were at Gourd Lake one minute and then at the top of the big building the next. And because you saw the moon in both locations, your mind blended your memories of the two together. It's not just that, though. Huh? But those are two totally different places. I know I was pretty out of it, but I don't think I could have gotten them confused that easily. I believe these things on the roof may have made you more likely to become confused. It's like the stall and this. This is where I originally thought the shot came out from the first case. And then the stall was, of course, on the opposite side of the place. But everything is literally the same standing as well. It's like paramount for all kinds of confusion. I'll go with the stool.
Take that!
There are two key similarities between the scene down by Gourd Lake and here on top of the big building. Cherry blossoms and food stands. Wait, you're right! Those similarities are what cause your memories of both places to overlap. The person in the red raincoat wasn't walking in midair. They were walking towards you from across the park. But in your blurry memories, that same sight played out over the viewing platform instead. No way! Who steals a great thief's memories, huh? That's just cheating! Even still, this doesn't answer the question of who attacked Kay in the park. Was it the person in the red raincoat you saw? Do you hear that? It sounds like it's coming from up in the storeroom. Come on, let's go take a look. Well, hooey! I smell another scoop in the oven. You're still here. Why don't we take the lift? It'd be faster, wouldn't it? Maybe it was up already. The 51st floor. Storeroom. What's going off? It's coming from this little gadget here, Mr. Edgeworth. Ah, this transceiver. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. It's still going. But I'm no good with technology. Come on, you have to pick up. Fine, I'll do it. Hey, this is Edgeworth. Kay, you could refrain from answering strange calls to me. Mr. Edgeworth, I presume. I know that voice. Shelly the Killer. Congratulations on another case solved. Yet I can't truly say it's been fully resolved, can you? I'm sure you've noticed by now that there was a mastermind at work orchestrating the entire incident. Ah, how do you even know about this case? That's not what's important right now. Let's focus on this certain individual for the time being, shall we? I have indeed been wondering myself if somebody else could have been involved. If not, how are we to explain the piece of evidence that proves so damning to Kay's case? No way! An evil mastermind! But who? Who indeed? Perhaps you could share your thoughts. What is the evidence in question that points to somebody else's involvement? What? I don't know. The jamming ninja. Did we even use this in the end? I can't even remember most of the time about the evidence I've gone through. We're just gonna have to check it all. A letter Kay was carrying is addressed to her. Don't worry, I'll make sure you get your precious thing back, Rosie. Okay. Oh. Well, that's a plot thread that wasn't dealt with. Okay, I feel like this is sorted. This is sorted. Kay's recollections are now sorted. We just literally sorted them out. The key card in the hand. Key card report won't be interesting. Of course, we've dealt with the body. We dealt with that. Got the victim's letter. Thanks so much for agreeing to help with my plan. Now we can both get what we want. Good luck getting your revenge for what happened 12 years ago. Wait, what? Weren't you the mastermind? Then I'm really confused. I mean, this is more than this one. That's just about, like, Little Thief, obviously. But something else has happened. And that there was a plan before all of this. And that it was instigated by Kay, is what's this saying. It's one of those two letters. It's probably this one. Kay? Was involved as well? Are you gonna tell us, Kay? Was it this?
Take that!
The letter Kay supposedly wrote to the victim. Yeah, I don't remember ever writing that. Okay, good. That makes a lot more sense. Thank goodness. So who did? Who would prepare such a thing? I know I'm not the only one who would like to know. And how do we know it wasn't you? Now, why would I do a thing like that, I believe the truth can only fully come to light in a court of law. But since you've had your badge revoked, that is no longer an option. So how will it all end? I, for one, will be watching from the sidelines with interest. He even knows about my badge. Oh, and one last thing. I do hope you won't betray my trust in you. Now I bid you farewell. What the heck did he mean by the case hasn't been fully resolved? I wish we got time to actually talk to Kay about that letter beforehand, because it would have made that a lot easier. And why is he so interested in us anyway? Everything's just one giant ball of mysteries. It seems we've only scratched the surface of this case. But even without my badge, I'm going to carry on doing what I can. However this ends, one thing's for certain. Come what may, I will expose the truth. And that's the end. That's where we finish with a question. But to be honest, that's the whole point. We've got a massive story arc underway. Someone wrote that letter in place of Kay. Does Kay still have Little Thief? Did I just assume the Little Thief had been taken? Was Rosie writing to Kay thinking it was Kay or not? Kay wasn't even remotely there. So someone was pretending to be Kay to Rosie? Or just Kay was used as a code name? Or there's another Kay involved? Questions. Our fifth case will probably answer them. But where are we going? Because I actually honestly thought that Excelcius Winner was going to be carried on into the fifth case. We've already jailed the guy. Not to say he won't appear, but still. I guess that's it for another episode. Another case is complete. Join me next time on Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutors Gambit, where we get closer to the overall truth. Case 5, Turnabout 5, begins. I'll see you then for more, and until then, I say, bye-bye.